Here is a scenario. You have been talking to a guy in a dating app and he seems nice, but you aren't too sure what to do next. He's not ghosted you and he's eager to meet up, yet you feel a rush of anxiety because damn, I didn't plan to get this far. Or maybe there's a guy that you physically met and you have an inkling that they like you and you aren't sure what to do next. Well, your steps are to focus on being memorable. Let's dive in, shall we? Like and subscribe. Forget the outcome. If you really like someone, it can feel like the only option is to give them everything all at once. We want to be the very best version of ourselves so that we can impress them in every single way. We end up becoming attached to the outcome of, oh my god, this guy I met is amazing. I need to make sure this works out and that we have a long-term relationship. We become a little obsessed and quite literally want to say all the right things at once and do all of the right things. Sometimes meaning we overcompensate our true selves, which creates a ton of anxiety and pressure when around them. You need to maintain your mindfulness and stay present in that moment with the person and not focus on if you guys will be a long-term thing. Forget that he may never actually call you back and focus on that moment with him and enjoy yourself. If you can forget about the outcome, you end up relaxing and thus showing him a natural side of you that he will find more attractive than that rigid, everything must go according to plan version of you. Give them space. Even if you really feel the spark with this new person and things are going great, do not be afraid to let them do their own thing. The more space you can give, the more confident and self-assured you look, which means get out of the habit to contact them every day and don't give them all your weekends. If you guys have just exchanged numbers, you don't have to text them within hours of meeting them. You can wait until the next day. Not only does this make him see you as a high-value lady, but also it gives you that confidence that you are not desperate for someone else's attention because you love yourself enough. This will also stop guys from leading you on, especially if he wants to see you every other day and every weekend. You need to put your foot down and say, hey buddy, I enjoy spending time with you, but this weekend I'm spending it with my friends and I can't cancel my evening classes to have a date with you because my pottery class is very important to me. Show an interest in them. Instead of taking a back seat and letting him steal the show with the topics, you will become much more memorable in his eyes if you show a passion in what he is talking about. Now, even if you don't understand his hobby obsession with gaming or painting figurines, simply saying, wow, that's a little bit unusual to me, never heard of that before, but tell me a little bit more and why you like it so much. Don't stop talking to other people. This may sound controversial. Let's say you're interested in two guys, but you have a preference for one over the other. If you end up bidding off that second guy that you are not keen on, you end up looking at the first guy with rose-tinted glasses, meaning you may ignore red flags. You need to give yourself options until that very moment when one of the guys asks to be official. It means you won't rush things with the wrong person because let's face it, if you know that you are wanted by many guys, you won't settle for less than you deserve. Show your passions and interests. I mentioned before that you should show an interest in his interests. However, ladies, don't leave yourself out the equation. If you have always taken the route of smiling and sitting in silence and nodding your head and agreeing to everything a guy says, you run the risk of being ghosted, as a guy will assume that you are a little bit boring. So talk about the things that gives you joy early on in the conversations. Even if you think your hobbies are a little unusual and you think he will find them boring, he will enjoy listening to you share more about yourself. The majority of girls shut down talking about themselves if they think the guy won't find that conversation topic interesting. However, let's be real. If you two were to date, he would then be exposed to your hobbies, right? So there's no point hiding them straight away. Plus, you look uber confident if you say, well, don't laugh at this. It may sound a little bit silly. I did think it at first, but I go to a weekly book club and we take it in turns to read pages of a book out loud. And yeah, it's a little bit strange to outsiders, but I really love it. Use confident body language. This makes first impressions memorable. Stop fidgeting, biting your nails, stand up tall or sit up straight, and maintain open body language. So unfold those arms and uncross those legs, and maintain eye contact when you are engaged in conversation. It's not easy to remain calm and collected when you meet someone that you like. However, looking on the exterior that you are cool, calm, and collected backs you many points. Let's take the scenario that the guy is very shy. Your confidence will help him to relax, and if he feels a positive energy shift when spending time with you, he will want to see you more. You make him feel good, and that is the key to relationships. We date other people so that we feel better about life, because life can be stressful and boring. Use their name in conversation. Our names are the sweetest sounds that we can hear, and it can feel quite awkward to actually say a person's name in a conversation if you fancy them. But it shows you are very ballsy if you can say, "Hey Tom, can I get you another drink?" Or, "Sounds like you had a busy week at work, Darren. Have you got the same schedule for next week?" These subtle examples lets the guy know that you find him important. He may not show it, but on the inside, he's going to be dancing around, because there's nothing more amazing than when someone that we find attractive uses our name in a direct conversation. Positive vibes only. If you've just met up with this guy for the first time, or you've gone from the dating app to instant messaging, try to refrain from any boring topics or moaning about life. Right now, you are in this magical bubble with a new guy making a great first impression. And of course, down the line, if you guys do get to be together, you can say, "Oh my gosh, Sarah, my roommate is driving me crazy," or "My boss is being a complete idiot at work." You can eventually bring out those little vulnerabilities, but within the first couple of months, when you first meet someone, you need to make them see you as someone that is wonderful, who loves life, who is confident, and sees the positives in everything. So if there's a moment when even your crush shares a moment of his own stress and vulnerability, or when he talks about something negative, if you can turn that around into a positive affirmation or some form of positive language, he will see you as a bright and bubbly person, which is someone that he will want to keep around.